Episode 41. Guy decides to step down as president and appoint Aruto as president of Hidden Intelligence again. Plus, Hidden Manufacturing was destroyed last episode, so yeah. Life insurance. Somehow that doesn't exist. Anywho, so the arc has come to a new conclusion that human gears must be destroyed too.
That's crazy.
The arc attached itself to Jin this time, so Aruto and Hirobi team up to save Jin. Once they do, Ikazuchi from space takes Breaking Mammoth and destroys the Ark's satellite, finally defeating the Ark. Jin is fine, but Hirobi has a new agenda now to destroy humanity because he wants to. And to be fair, his reasoning is sound. He says and thinks that as long as humans are as evil as they are, another version of the Ark would just be born again. And I personally don't think him to be wrong, but also not right, because the point of what he's trying to say is, as long as humans are as dangerous as they are, to literally allow prejudice, racism, and create a problem like the Ark, that they would just try to screw themselves over again. So let the human gears be in charge instead. And to be honest, let's be honest right now. Both human gears and humans are a reflection basically of each other. And human gears basically learn from humans. What we've picked up so far and what human gears have picked up so far is that humans can be quite callous. And honest to God, there are some human gears that may decide to do evil out of their own free will, but us humans are no better, literally. Like, it was like a week or two ago since a mob of Trump supporters invaded the Capitol. So, shit like that is what Hirobi is talking about. Like, as long as we disregard anything for whatever reason, again, any type of malice that humans would perform, and we do have, he thinks it's better for human gears to just take over and be the dominant race. So, yeah, pretty much. So, episode 42. Izu gets a simulation from Azu that Hirobi will become the new Ark. After that, Hirobi sends a message to all human gears to join him as he declares war against humanity. Before anything goes down, Izu tries to reason with him, but fails. Aside from that, Guy has been demoted from his position as CEO of Zaya. And weirdly enough, the one who demoted him knew he created the Ark and yet didn't bother to stop him. Okay, now I want to look at Japan's laws to see what real offenses are enough to consider to have one arrested. Because treason against humanity, that's apparently not one of them. And so, Hirobi and the Kamen Riders fight each other, and when Hirobi's alone with Izu, he resists that he doesn't have a heart and kills her. And it breaks Aruto. Seeing Izu just die was that hard.
That's what she said.
So hard that the episode ends with Kamen Rider Arc 1 appearing before everyone and revealing that it's Aruto. Azu came to him when he was grieving and offered him the Arc 1 Progress Key. Now, let's talk about Kamen Rider Arc 1. I think it's good, though I will admit I like Arc 0 a bit more. I think it's because it's black, and black's my favorite color. But with this, white's more at the forefront. It's much sleeker. And it's a lot more eviler. I love the vibes with it. So, either way, it's a good suit. Oh yeah, and it's still with the Arc driver, but with the Arc 1 progress key, which surprisingly enough makes the Arc driver, I guess, turn that way. Like, turn into like a new look. Anywho. Episode 43. Fua, Yaiba, and Guy go after Aruto and end up losing their abilities to transform, and learn that Aruto is doing this all on his own, and that he's not being controlled by the Arc. If the Arc was responsible for anything, then it's for coming to this final conclusion. The Arc is a being that only knows malice, something both humans and Humagears have shown to possess. So now, his final scheme, after he's gone, is that humans and Humagears will basically destroy each other. And so, in episode 43 reveals that the new president of Zaya was the one who rebuilt Jin's consciousness. And Aruto and Hirobi meet again, and as soon as Aruto is going to finish him off, Jin flies in and takes the hit. Hirobi this entire time has been trying to ignore having a heart and caring. As soon as Jin explodes, he lets it all out, and now Aruto is the guilty feeling one. And just like Aruto, Azu shows up and offers Hirobi the power of the Arc because there's malice in his heart. Episode 44 mixes up things because it's not Aruto starting to be racist towards Humagears. He's really after Hirobi for revenge for Izu, and same for Hirobi with Jin. But yeah, things are in an uproar. Though I will say, I like that the show reaches its conclusion differently with the final battle. If Aruto and Hirobi do fight, society will metaphorically kill itself with Humagears and humans at odds with each other. And it's deeper than that. Like, this isn't about revenge. This is about everyone wanting to get along. And Aruto and Hirobi are stuck in the middle of grief. And that's what this episode is saying. Though the number of people that's what this episode is saying through the number of people Aruto has made an impact on. Fua tries to stop him but fails. And Azu gives Hirobi a Zetsume driver, which is again the Zero One driver with another toy just slapped in front of it. Anywho, Guy comes up with a new plan to stop them by rebuilding Jin. Not his body, because that would, of course, take too long to build an entire robot, but his intelligence and consciousness they can rebuild in time. Before the battle, Aruto goes to Zeya and finds a hologram of his dad, giving him a pep talk about where true strength comes from, and he gives him a new Zero One driver. Okay. The next morning, Aruto and Hirobi fight, and Hirobi uses his new form, Arc Scorpion. Honest to God, I love this form. I don't know why. I find it beautiful. I love the disfigured shape on the head. I think all the colors on it look amazing. Purple, black, red. It looks like Kamen Rider. It looks like his poison scorpion form went to hell and back. I just really like. He even looks bulkier. That looks so damn cool. Episode 45. Aruto and Hirobi fight, and Aruto realizes that this has all gone far enough and lets Hirobi just wail on him to the point of destroying the Arc driver. And with this final battle is really realizing what this final battle is realizing that Humagears and humans aren't so different after all. When you compare who they have lost and that malice doesn't discriminate, it's in everything and everyone. But that's not what there is. People get sad, people get angry, people get happy. It's not all black and white. The world is gray. And once that sets in for Aruto, he utilizes the Zero One driver and it's a new form. Not really. Realizing Hopper, it's literally no different than Rising Hopper in terms of stats, looks, fucking everything. Like, yeah. 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 Why'd they bother? Yeah. Aruto destroys the Zetsume driver, sparing Hirobi. And after that, they both, well, realize they were wrong and make up. And so, the fighting's over. Humans and Humagears can now finally get along. And the epilogue. Yaiba is a captain of Ames, and by the way, Ames is now its own organization. It's no longer part of Zaya. And Naki is brought on as a technical advisor. Everyone basically goes back to their jobs, and Guy is his own department with more toy dogs. Jin is rebuilt, and Metsubo Jinrai now has a new direction to watch over people and prevent something like the Ark from happening again. Azu is still around, and we get a preview of a new rider that'll debut in the real-time movie Kamen Rider Eden. As for Aruto, he rebuilds Izu, but sadly her information and data wasn't saved, so he decides he'll reteach her everything. I like it. It made me tear up. And that was Zero One. The whole show. Whew. Now, I had a feeling it was going to be 4 parts, and thank God I was right. When I was doing part 3 and editing it all together, it was going to be short, but then I went on that rant, which made it 18 minutes. But, yeah, that's the end of the show, so let's talk about the characters. Starting off with our lead, Aruto. Aruto, I honestly think he's my favorite character, if only because of how responsible he is. Like, he is someone who goes by the beat of his own drum. He is who he is, and he doesn't change his perception for anything for a second. If anything, he takes in new information and keeps going, because he believes that humans and Humagears can get along. And it helps the fact that, well, not just that his grandfather created them, but he was raised by one. Like, if he wasn't raised by a Humagear father, he'd probably be like everyone else. But Aruto as a character alone, I like him. He's a good main writer. And yeah, he's really someone you can just totally focus on and take seriously at when they aren't being not funny. But yeah, Aruto's awesome. Next, actually, let's talk about Izu next. Izu is amazing. Izu is, oh my god, with Izu there, Aruto becomes slightly funnier. Or at least slightly funny, because if he's alone making jokes, he just looks ridiculous and weird. But with Izu there, it's cute and it gets a chuckle out of me. But Izu as a character alone, she was great. Honestly, an amazing leading woman. Because, yeah, she's a Humagear and she stuck to her guns, mainly because of her programming, but she eventually comes into her own person, and you totally see that. And so, and when she died, both times, the first time I was like, what the hell, why were you that close to begin with? The second time, it really shows how important she was as a character and to Aruto that he literally said, fuck everything for a moment, I'm all after Hirobi, who we'll get to in a moment. So next, Fua. Not a bad character. He's a good secondary writer. At first I thought he was a bit of a meathead, but after he learns that it's not just Human Gears Alone's fault, it was Zaya's, he really starts to change more as a person and as a character. And honestly, it's good that he was given false memories. Like, at first I thought it was just a ridiculous twist, but the fact that they actually showed him wanting to know more about his past and even actually see his family for a moment, it was a great way to bring the character down to earth some. Because, let's see, Fua, as a secondary writer, he's dedicated to the job, serious, and yeah, he's still a bit of a meathead, but he's more, I don't know. Fua, at the end, he's still a meathead, but he's still about the job, and I don't know. I really lost words for Fua. Let's just move on. Yaiba. Her character is pretty simple. In terms of development, it's connected to literally everyone else. Like, with Fua, she always has to look out for him because he's such a, well, Neanderthal. But he knows right from wrong. And with Guy, it's like with Guy, it wasn't really manipulation and more she was scared to hell of him. And the episode where she finally quits Zaya, you see and feel all that release. So yeah, she may not have a lot on her own, but with everyone else, she's not awful. Just a pretty simple, well, character, really. Not simple as in easy person. Like, she is AIM's technical advisor, then later captain. But she learned from, I will admit this, she did learn from Fua and Aruto about how to have your own sense of justice. And yeah, Fua and Yaiba's like interactions with each other, they weren't bad. It's like surprisingly, the show didn't bother to ship them, which honestly, good. It's like two people that are always side by side with each other. They don't always need to turn out to be in a romance. All right, this next character I want to talk about now because I've been saving my thoughts on him since a few videos ago. Guy as a villain is amazing. He's the one responsible for everything that happens in the show. I just think that I just think his redemption arc could have been better. Because once he starts being the good guy, he really doesn't do much to like really redeem himself. Like, he helps out in small ways, yeah, but in major ways, not so much. Like what I said, I would have preferred it if Guy had invented 02 for Aruto. That way, it would have been a huge step for the guy who was responsible for like all of their problems and is making up for it. So his redemption, I really would wish to see. Slurred my words. I need a cup of water. Damn it, where's my cup? Fuck. Anywho, for Guy's redemption arc, I really wish we had saw the original plans because it was pretty short. It's just, all right, I'm never going to let you remove me from office, and then we're friends now. Let's work together. And also, that backstory, just no. That backstory was not enough to redeem all the crap that he did. Like, you don't even have my sympathy. Anytime I watch it, I was like, it's like I think I'm supposed to feel something, but then I remind myself that the reasoning is just dumb. Alright, yeah. So, the next two, let's just talk about them both together. Because now we're just going on to the villains. Hirobi and Jin. Both are good villains and have arcs that are brilliant. Hirobi's arc is him realizing how much he actually cares and does have a heart, and that humans and human gears aren't so different after all. But the fact that he looks so differently at first, saying that humans still created the arc, we should take over, I totally get that and understand. And I thought it was rather natural that he's not following orders, but now he's doing this out of his own ambition. I liked that. And the realization that he actually does give a damn, really, I think that works just as well. Jin is actually quite interesting because he grew up. He started off kind of childlike, but then once he comes back, he's mature. And not to mention now, when he comes back, he is one of the with Jin coming back, it's like he's much more sophisticated, like not wanting to take over the world, but wanting to free all human gears. He's an interesting type of, in a way, he's a kind of I want to say, anti-villain, since Hirobi wanted to just take over the world and Jin wanted to free human gears. I think that is alone quite interesting. And those two actors, great job. All right, the next two, we're also going to talk about them both together. Ikazuchi and Naki. These two alone really don't do much, nor contribute much. With Naki, yeah, she really doesn't contribute much. And Ikazuchi served a part in the first part of the show. And then just with destroying the arc. But really, I feel like that part could have been done by anyone. Zaya even. It just, or better guy. Once again, he's the one with the redemption arc. He could have been the one to destroy the arc. It's just that these two alone don't get much, unfortunately. All right, so now we have now reached the point that we lost words. I'm going to start reading people's comments now on what they think of Kamen Rider Zero One, because about a week or two ago, I basically posted on a Facebook, two Facebook groups, Toku Infinity and also Kamen Rider Club, that were people's thoughts on Kamen Rider Zero One. Now, I'm going to skip the comments where they mention that Corona ruined the show. I'm just going to skip it. Alright, so, here we go. Carlo Razzo. The first rivalry with Metsubo Jinrai, the first 15 episodes was good. Then the rivalry with Thouser, I think, took too long. He got bored of it. The final rivalry with Arc is fun. Overall, I enjoyed it. Alright, Sam Ross. Fumbled the ending, and Guy should have died at the 50% mark of the series, but lots of highs and great characters. That I also agree as well. It's like, at a certain point, Guy did not do much. So it's like, you could have killed him off and nothing would have been so different. And so, next comment. I really enjoyed it as an exploration of the technological singularity. Jin's whole plot arc was incredibly written. Next one by John King. Zero One is a great series, worth the watch. Okay, this was a negative one, but sort of on Naruto. I can't pronounce your name, so I'm just going to read your comment. Didn't really like Aruto's character at the final arc, but still pretty enjoyable. Let's see here. I personally... that really, Aruto didn't act any different as if anyone else did if someone murdered their friend. I think they would want revenge too. Depends on how you think. Alright. Okay, here's a smart comment just about Saber by Ray Nator. Overall, great watch. Unlike Saber, who really got screwed hard by Okay, another COVID comment, skipping. Okay, this is a smart one. Really enjoyed the start. Thouser sticks around too long. The ending arc is a bit rushed because, okay, another COVID one. Alright, sorry, now I'm really going over all the comments. And I'm sorry. Now I'm just going over all the comments, making sure that none of them mention COVID. Just because I know it's going to be the one everyone says. Here's one. Gregory Lowe. It's not flawless, and I personally dislike the second arc because it's really dumb. However, the characters in general are great, the suits look amazing, and the story does redeem itself towards the end. And then he uploaded a picture of the toys. But yeah, personally, that's how everyone thinks about the second arc, including myself. Tim Healy. Really solid start to the Reiwa era. Good story, solid character development. Only major flaw in the whole thing is rebuilding Izu and being like, we can restore her personality with time. Totally devaluing her sacrifice since they literally replaced her. But rather than that, solid 9 out of 10. I don't personally think she was sacrificed. She more or less got killed trying to reason. Alright, and here's another one. Ending not that good. Let's see here. There are like a lot of these comments going on. Oh, here's another one. Thouser arc kinda killed it. Okay, and here's a bit of a negative one, personally. Well, here are a couple of them. I prefer Saber as like a filler, to be honest. 7 out of 10 for me. It was good. I just didn't want it to be close to my actual favorite series, which was Bill, 10 out of 10. Alright, I think that's about all I'll read. Oh, here's another comment that I kind of saw before. 6 out of 10. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you think this show is just personally 6 out of 10, I think you like simple stuff or just have no taste. Sorry, not sorry. But for the most part, yeah, good show. Go check out Zero One. And stick around next time for when we review Bakaryuu Sentai Abaranger. So, that will be the next show I review, and it will be a bit of a while till, well, after Abaranger, then we're going back to show a Kamen Rider. But, with that said, oh crap, I almost forgot. My thoughts on Zero One. Personally, just like everyone else's, I think this is an overall great show. If there was to be anything that brought this show down for me personally, it would be two things. The Thouser arc and Guy's Redemption arc. And beside from that, I liked everything. I liked the take that they took with it, the characters, the villains. This is a fantastic show and highly recommended. So, with that said, thank you guys for watching. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, share this video, and tell your friends about KamenRider Blackman. And I will see you all next time. Peace.